As we move forward in Psalm chapter 2, we reach verse 7, which says, "I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you." This verse shifts from the broader scope of God's authority and his interactions with rebellious nations to a deeply personal and intimate proclamation between God and his anointed king. This verse captures a pivotal moment, the declaration of the divine sonship of the king. In the original context, this sonship would have been understood in terms of royal ideology prevalent in the ancient Near East, where kings were often seen as godlike or chosen by the gods. In the context of Israel, however, this carried a more covenantal and prophetic meaning, indicating a special relationship between Yahweh and the Davidic king. The king, in this sense, is not divine, but appointed by God in a unique role to lead his people, representing God's authority and rule on earth. The phrase, "You are my son," can be seen as both an affirmation of the king's role and a statement of his special status. This is not just about familial relation, but about sovereign appointment. The expression, "Today I have begotten you," emphasizes the inauguration of this status. It's a figurative way of saying that from this point forward, the king is recognized in a new capacity, endorsed and empowered by God himself. The "today" in this phrase doesn't necessarily refer to a 24-hour period, but marks the significant moment of divine recognition and empowerment. This verse also serves as a cornerstone for much deeper theological implications, particularly in how it is interpreted in the New Testament regarding Jesus Christ. The authors of the New Testament saw this declaration as ultimately fulfilled in Jesus, who is understood not just as a Davidic king, but as the Son of God in a unique and unparalleled sense. For instance, the writer of the book of Hebrews uses this verse to highlight Jesus' superior nature compared to angels, emphasizing his divine sonship, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5. Moreover, this declaration also has eschatological significance. It points forward to a time when God's rule would be perfectly realized through his anointed king. The enthronement of the king is not just a historical event, but a foretaste of God's kingdom fully established on earth. This perspective is especially pertinent in understanding the ultimate hope and the prophetic vision that undergirds the faith and expectation of the community that upholds the Scriptures. This assurance of God's control and promise of an eternal kingdom provides immense comfort and encouragement to believers. It serves as a reminder that God's plans are not limited to the immediate and visible situations. His decrees span across time and space, ensuring that his purposes are fulfilled despite apparent setbacks or the prevailing chaos in the world. Furthermore, this verse invites each individual to reflect on the nature of God's kingdom and our role within it. It challenges us to consider our own allegiance. Is it to the transient and often tumultuous rule of human systems, or is it to the eternal and steadfast kingdom of God? It also encourages a personal relationship with God, who has revealed himself as a father to his son and, by extension, offers a form of spiritual sonship to all who believe in him, bringing them into his family and under his care. Psalm chapter 2, verse 7 not only enriches our understanding of God's messianic promise, but also deepens our appreciation of the intimate and enduring relationship God seeks with his people. It reaffirms God's sovereign power and his loving commitment to fulfill his promises, calling us to trust in him fully and to anticipate the full realization of his kingdom. It's a verse that bridges divine decrees with deep relational dynamics, weaving together themes of power, promise, and paternal love in a tapestry that speaks across ages to all who stand in allegiance with God's anointed king.